When the sun goes down, the stars come out. From deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Star at Night. Coming to you from the Cowboys facility at the Star in Frisco. With your hosts, Kelsey Charles and David Hellman.
Hey there, and welcome to a very special presentation of the Star at Night with an assist from our friends at Favor. Kelsey, it's mid-April, and I'm tired of not being in the news cycle. I won't be ignored. I won't do it in another day because every other pundit that gets a paycheck to talk about this dumb league is out here making headlines. It's rumor season. It's mock draft season. So we're getting in the mix, my friend. We are here
I'm ready.
We're going to do our own special Star at Night mock draft, which is to say we're going to mock less than half of the first round because who has time to do 32 entire picks? Like, are you kidding me?
The attention span, like, come on now. Do you know who I am?
I have the attention span of a fruit fly, and yours might be worse. So we're going to skip all that BS because guess what? Tell me this isn't the absolute truth. You open every mock draft you see, and you carefully read every pick until your team picks, and then you close it, because nobody gives a damn what happens after that. So in the interest of that, we're going to mock the first 12 picks, up to the Cowboys pick, and then the two division rivals that come right after them. It's going to kick ass. We're going to have fun, and we're going to get somebody to aggregate a news story about it, even if I have to do it myself. So, Kelsey, ladies first, you're going to take the odd-numbered teams, and I'm going to take the evens, and we're going to try to line this thing up and get a good player to Dallas at pick number 10. So go ahead and start us off.
I'm just going to say this on the upfront. The Giants and the Eagles should be grateful that they are coming in at 11 and 12 because I was going to have the hardest time not purposely tanking them in favor of picks that I wanted. So at least we'll have some semblance of objectivity in these decisions, but no promises when it comes down to those. But on the clock, first up, we all know we've been talking about this forever. I think this pick will come as no surprise. Jacksonville, we've got a new head coach down there, Urban Meyer. He likes the college guys. And in honor of picking the other quarterback, number one last year from the 2020 National Championship game, it only feels right that we go ahead and put our guy Trevor Lawrence in that number one slot. I think it's pretty much determined at this point that he's going to go number one. So I'm going to pick Trevor Lawrence, number one, going down to Florida, not too far away from where he spent his college days. So, Dave.
For somebody with a short attention span, you spend a lot of time on a pick that we all know is Trevor Lawrence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry.
Which I'm going to rectify that. Joe Douglas of the New York Jets came out a couple weeks ago and flat out said, like, yeah, we're going to pick Zach Wilson. Like, he didn't say that, but he basically said it in a news conference. So, New York Jets got rid of Darnold. They're drafting Zach Wilson out of BYU. It's back to you at number 3 and the San Francisco 49ers, my friend.
All right, well, I'll keep this one simple, too, because I'm pretty positive that based on the moves, if I'm going to follow the money, then the 49ers, yeah, they traded up to this number 3 spot. And I feel like, I said this before, I'll say it again, John Lynch is just itching to pay his backup quarterback $25 million. So word on the street, per Shefty, per Daniel Jeremiah, they're going to go Mac Jones from Alabama. I think it's something that makes sense for them, at least in their minds. So 3 quarterbacks in the top 3, and we're moving on.
Oh, boy. I don't care at the end of the day what happens to the San Francisco 49ers, but my brain is going to explode if Mac Jones is the pick while Justin Fields is still on the board. So pick number 4 is Atlanta. This might age terribly. I feel like Atlanta's desperate to get away from that pick. They're not ready to draft a quarterback because Matt Ryan's contract is so big. You're going to be carrying that cap charge for at least a couple more years. He has won an MVP. He gives you the best chance to contend. So I don't really think Atlanta's going to make this pick. But if they have to, they might still think the value's too good to pass up. So I'm putting Justin Fields in this spot. It's crazy to me if Justin Fields slips too much further than 4 or 5. So pencil me in with Justin Fields. We'll say it's the Atlanta Falcons right now. I doubt it will be later. But Justin Fields deserves to be gone inside the top 5, so I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. Wow. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised by that pick.
I believe that would be the first time that the first 4 picks are all quarterbacks in draft history. So it would be unprecedented. I'm just saying, the guy's too good to be sliding down like people are projecting. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Do you honestly though? I'd love to chat about that for a second because I feel like there's been a little bit, some noise around Ohio State quarterbacks and their lack of translating into the big leagues. Do you honestly, are you buying what they're selling? I mean, we've had guests on the show that have just touted his abilities, what he brings to the table. I mean, it's undeniable he's a great college athlete, but let's face it, the Ohio State quarterbacks, I mean, they haven't done the greatest when it comes to the NFL.
We do not scout helmets. That's not something. I'll do my best Brian Broaddus voice. You can't scout the helmet like that. I don't give a damn. The Alabama didn't have a first-round quarterback. I don't care at all. Alabama didn't have a first-round quarterback like from Joe Namath all the way to Tua. Like they didn't have good quarterbacks that whole time, and now they're going to have back-to-back first-round picks. It doesn't matter where you went to school. It matters how well you play. Justin Fields is a freak athlete with a cannon arm and much better traits as a passer than a lot of people want to give him credit for. He should be a top 5 pick. I don't know if he will be because this league is stupid sometimes.
Say it with some enthusiasm. Well, since we're throwing out stats really quickly, if the Jets did indeed do exactly what you say do you think they will in drafting quarterback Zach Wilson from BYU, they would be the first team in common the draft era history to select 2 quarterbacks in the top 3 picks in a 4-year span. I believe.
Not great, Bob.
That. So, it's a fun little stat, maybe not so much if you are a fan of that team in green. All right, so moving on. I am just really thrilled that producer Caden gave me this pick at number 5 and not you, Dave. I'm actually shocked if we're being totally transparent here. So
don't hurt my man.
Bengals. Yeah, I have some decisions to make if I'm the GM up here because, at the end of the day, Joey B, the newly minted franchise quarterback up in Cincy, word on the street is that this front office is giving him a say in the draft. And are we hearing that maybe he wants another wide receiver, JAMAR Chase, reuniting with his former college teammate, despite the fact they've got guys like Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins already on the team? Not to mention, we all saw what happened last season. He didn't even make it through the entire year. So it's very apparent that this team desperately needs some help on the O-line. So I think the fans want Penei Sewell, but I'm going to get a little weird and go JAMAR Chase with this one because you know what? Let's just take some risks here, Dave. Bring your Joey B candle down. Go ahead and light it. You're going to need to this season, baby.
Let's take some risks and hope that our franchise quarterback doesn't get killed. Idiot. What are you doing?
Listen, I'm just trying to further the potentially very false narrative that Duke Tobin is putting out there where he's like, don't worry, guys, don't worry. There are multiple really highly graded O-linemen in this draft. I'm not worried about it if we don't draft first round. So, you know what?
Okay.
Because this is a mock draft and we like to have fun on this show, I am going to go JAMAR Chase and hopefully prayers up for your mans.
Joe Burrow could have Randy Moss on one side and Jerry Rice on the other side, and it's not going to matter if he gets annihilated every time he drops back. And hey, I love JAMAR Chase, but that's just reckless endangerment. I'll be over here saying Hail Marys for Joe for the rest of the year. Thanks. Pick number 6 is now with the Miami Dolphins. I was really hoping to send JAMAR Chase down there to play with Tua, but since Kelsey is a troll, I could think of a few better options. I mean, this is going to break the hearts of every fun Cowboy fan, but Kyle Pitts would just be too much fun. And I know they have Mike Gesicki. He had a great year. Who cares? Kyle Pitts is awesome. He can do everything. Tua needs weapons. I know they could use some offensive line help as well, but with Penei Sewell going – oh, no, actually, Penei – oh, no.
He's still on the board.
Oh
Did
no!
I just
Penei
switch
Sewell.
things up for you?
Penei Sewell should be in Cincinnati. No,
I'm
okay,
not sorry
yeah,
for this.
that's fine. Actually, no, let's just send Penei Sewell down to Miami. Their offensive line
Oh,
could
wow.
use some help as well. Kyle Pitts would be a lot of fun in Miami, but with Penei Sewell slipping, because Kelsey's a troll, that's my pick. That's my pick. Let's send Penei down to Miami where he can help Tua. Thank you for that.
I'm really already thrilled with how this is playing out. So thank you again to our producer for giving me the Bengals pick. It just really made my soul so happy.
I hate it.
Yes, I am. All right, well, fine. If you don't want Pitts down in Miami, then I think I'm going to go ahead with pick number 7, Detroit. I might give my guy Goff someone else to throw to. Listen, at the end of the day, they lost their 3 top wide receivers this past offseason, and he's such a vertical threat, like you just mentioned. I don't have to repeat it. We know that Kyle Pitts is the guy. So I'm going to go ahead and send Pitsy up north. Go ahead and put your silver and blue on. And maybe give them something entertaining to talk about after this blockbuster trade, the offseason.
I am curious to see the reaction in Detroit if they draft another top 10 tight end. Because they
literally, I read about this and they were like, don't do it. And I'm like, we're doing it. I'm just being a troll in my drafting. Like, I'm sorry, you guys. This is what I'm here for. We're trying to make headlines with this, David. You're welcome for this content.
You're going to make headlines, all right, when the freaking Lions fan base storms your office because they're pissed off. Hey, in their defense, like, Kyle Pitts is a different animal from TJ Hawkinson and even Eric Ebron. So if you hate the pick, then you haven't watched the player. That's my opinion. So congrats to Detroit.
I was going to go to Smith, and but you know what? Again, like, here we are. I'm going to go Pitts. I stand by what I said.
That's perfectly acceptable. Carolina's got a lot of needs. I know a lot of people are worried about them now that they've traded for Sam Darnold, drafting a cornerback. Maybe that's where Patrick Surtain ends up. That's a little bit scary. And by the way, we haven't drafted a defensive player. I'm thinking between Patrick Surtain and Rashawn Slater. I think those are the best options for that team. Maybe this is bias on my part, I have to admit. I would love to see a cornerback available to the Cowboys when they pick. But when you think about Slater's versatility and you think about the Panthers' needs, I know they have offensive tackles, but I still think you wouldn't mind shoring that thing up. And so I'm going to give him Rashawn Slater. He can play guard if you want him to. He doesn't have to play tackle right away. It's a very Zach Martin pick. Like, yeah, we have bigger needs, but this guy can come in and be a badass right away. And by the way, protect your new quarterback that you just traded for. Yeah, Rashawn Slater. Let's get it.
Okay. All right. So you say Rashawn Slater. And moving on over to Denver with pick number 9, they've got a new GM in the building. So different decisions are going to be made. I personally am not sold on Drew Lock, although I do love his dance moves. I'm not quite sure that sentiment is shared by George Patton. It appears as though he is buying what Mr. Lock is selling. And because of their offseason moves, signing cornerbacks Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby, I don't think they're going to take a corner. I don't think they have to, but I do feel like they're going to stay defense. They struggled in that area. They need a little help. So how about we put my guy Micah Parsons over in an orange jersey? That could make a lot of sense for this team and create an immediate impact that they so desperately need on that side of the ball.
Micah Parsons with Vic Fangio could be really, really fun. Like, I know Cowboy fans some of them, not all of them, but some Cowboy fans kind of talk down on Micah Parsons, but like with the right defensive mind and like the right scheme, he's terrifying. That's a lot of fun. And also, oh man, I hate that we decided not to do trades, because you realize what just happened, right? You realize where things sit as we make this Dallas Cowboys pick.
Yep.
I mean, I want to trade down. I want to convince somebody to come up for Trey Lance. That's what I want to do.
You now?
Yes, absolutely. I want picks, baby. I want picks. I want Chicago or New England or one of these other desperate teams to trade up. But We said we're not doing that. We said we're not going to do trades. So, all right, if we're making this pick together, we got our choice of the cornerbacks. We got Patrick Surtain. We got J.C. Horn. The offensive tackles are off the board. Trey Lance is there. Honestly, I think you sending Micah Parsons to Denver has made this very, very easy for us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the same. I mean, if there's guys like Rousseau that are still out there, but they're not as highly rated. I think we're going to probably end up with the guy that we've been mocking all along. And so I'll let you say it because I know you love to sing his high praises. So go ahead and make the pick, my friend. It's all on you.
If Patrick Surtain is available when the Cowboys come up on the clock, I will bet you $20 that he's the pick. That's just my opinion. And I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Well, okay, I'm a sports writer. I don't make that much. Okay, like Jesus, calm down. In a perfect world, I think that's their pick. And honestly, maybe this mock is going a little bit too perfectly. But Pat Surtain is sitting there. He's an NFL legacy. He's a multi-year starter at Bama. Arguably the best corner in the class, either him or J.C. Horn. Don't overthink it. And the Dallas Cowboys now have two Bama cornerbacks holding down their secondary, him and Trayvon Diggs. Love the pick.
I don't hate it. I would actually be absolutely filled with that. All right, so let's see here. We have the Giants now, and I told you guys I wasn't going to purposely tank them, so I'm going to stand by that word. They did some work this offseason in free agency. They really shored up a lot of positions. I'm not going to say they're all starters. There's a lot of rotational depth too, but it put them in a position where they didn't need to draft solely based on need. They could go full BPA. What if I gave them a wide receiver? What if I gave Daniel Jones? What if I gave the former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? I was about to use a nickname for him. I'm not going to do that. Jason Garrett, someone to throw to. Do I want to go Waddle? No! Are you kidding me? Wow, I don't know if we're good or bad at this. Let's go Mr. Heisman. What about Mr. Heisman if he had to end up in NYC? What do we think about DeVonta Smith?
I just want to know what the nickname for Jason Garrett was. Like, which one, what was that? What were you going to use?
It was not super negative. It was not negative at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, it's a Cowboy syndicated show. I just feel like I maybe shouldn't go there. Look at me growing up.
Fair enough. Oh, DeVonta Smith. I might pick Waddle, but I think adding a receiver for Daniel Jones to work with makes a lot of sense. Micah Parsons would be fun there. I mean, I know, they have other needs, but I don't think you could go wrong with either of the Bama receivers. I won't be shocked at all to see one of them wind up there.
All right, so you're rounding out the NFC East.
It's DeVonta. It's DeVonta that you're going with. Okay, which
I said DeVonta.
If that's the way it plays out, Howie Roseman, get off Howie Roseman's back, because if the Philadelphia Eagles trade back to 12, which they did, and Jalen Waddle's still sitting there for him at 12. Oh, and by the way, J.C. Horn is still there as well. That's a fantastic, fantastic choice for them to make between those two players. And I wonder, as much as people talk about the Eagles needing weapons, I wonder if they would consider a cornerback there, because, man, their defense has been atrocious over the last couple years as some of their stars started aging. But I just think Jalen Waddle's too dynamic of a talent. You pair him with Jalen Reagor. We'll see what happens with their tight end situation. But if Jalen Hurts is going to be successful, he needs weapons. So we're just going to lean into this offense thing. I think we only drafted 2 defenders in these 12 picks. Jalen Waddle to Philly. Don't love it for the Cowboys because he's going to be a pain for Patrick Surtain and Trayvon Diggs to cover. But, let's do it. Jalen Waddle. I don't love what we did for the Giants and Eagles right there, but it is what it is.
I don't either. I'll be totally honest with you. It makes me feel a little icky inside.
Do you want to do it like the 1960s and draft some guys that are dead or out of the country? We could do that. That's happened before. That's happened before. Probably not in 2021, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to even go this step further and give the Eagles a little credit, but you just said it, so I might just need to round out your applause for them, because if things turn out like the Eagles are hoping, their kind of semi-awful decision and how they're carrying this cap hit for a player that's not even playing on their team. Well, if he plays as much as they're hoping he plays, they could end up with, I think though it was like 3 or 4 first rounders. It's just like silly, the draft picks that they'll have in the coming years, if and only if it all goes according to their plan. And we all know that I'm hoping it doesn't. So that being said, I hope you guys are thrilled with Patrick Surtain, because we surely are hoping the guy ends up in a silver and blue outfit come April. But I guess we'll see, Dave. I mean, I don't know. How would you grade our mock draft overall? Like, it got a little sketchy there. It got a little off the rails at times. I'm not going to
right around the time you picked Jamar Chase, it went off the rails. You ruined everything. But hey, the Cowboys got their guy, and that's really all I care about at the end of the day. So it works out.
You guys are welcome for this content. We'd love to hear what you think. You can roast us. I'm here for it. I don't mind. But you guys can thank producer Caden for this brilliant idea. And again, for giving me the Bengals to choose for and just ruin Dave's life. So y'all, thanks so much for tuning in. Big thanks to Favor for providing this episode completely and utterly commercial free. For David Hellman, producer Caden, I'm Kelsey Charles. We'll see you guys next time.